Hi there, so today I'm going to take you through your second Pilates video. So this video is building up onto the previous one where I explained to you the transversus abdominis, the pelvic floor and the lateral thoracic breathing. Hopefully you had time to practice that. So this is building on top of it. So if you still find, the breathing a bit tricky and the engagement of the transverse a bit tricky, just keep practice those and then go to this. So you can even give that a shot and then see how you get on. One or few things to always bear in mind when you do Pilates: you should never ever feel any pain in your lower back. You should never feel any pain in your tummy really when you're doing it. You might feel warmth and muscle engagement but no sharp pain. And you need to think about being relaxed when you do Pilates. Don't tense up. The way I teach, I like to give focus on each exercises. So I'm going to show you 4 exercises. The first one will be kind of like the warm-up. And every time you're going to do an exercise, I want you to think about those 3 things I've put at the top. I don't think you can read it, so I'm going to read it to you. So the first thing you want to always think about before you do something is, what are you trying to do? So what is the aim of the exercise? Because if you have no idea what you are trying to achieve, it's not going to help you. Knowing why you're doing what you're doing is helpful. Second thing, and I'm borrowing that expression from a physio called Antonillo. If you want to look him up online, he's called the physio detective, and he used that great phrase, which is tension to task. So when you're doing an exercise, any exercise in Pilates or in life, always wonder if, or always feel if you're giving enough tension to what you're trying to do. So don't give too much and don't give too little. Just try to see what is the best tension, or for Pilates, what is the best core tension you can have to perform the exercise. All right? And the last focus I'm going to give you every time is the breathing. Is the breathing pattern you're using is good for you, or could you find something better to use? Okay? Again, that's my way of teaching Pilates. If you go into another class, it might not be what they are or how they are teaching you. Okay? So let's roll on. The first thing I'm going to do for warm-up, we're going to do some all-fours position and engaging the core in and up. So this is the last exercise you have done in the previous video. Alright? So you want to be in all-fours position, so your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, so you are in all-fours. And from here, you want to work on finding the breathing through your ribcage. Once you've got the breathing through the ribcage, think about relaxing your tummy and then re-engaging. And relax your tummy and re-engage. So the same as in the previous video, when you do 1, 2, 3 from here, you relax, and then you re-engage, pelvic floor 1, 2, 3, transverse 1, 2, 3, and then you relax, and then you do it again. Alright, once you've done this one a few times, this should give you enough body awareness so you know what it feels like to be engaged in your transverse and in your pelvic floor. Once you've done that, we're going to do exactly the same, but you're going to be lying down onto your back. So you're going to lay down onto your back on your mat. Alright, and here we're going to do exactly the same. So feet on the floor, arm by your side. You want to find the breathing through your ribcage. So if you have your hands onto your tummy and you start to breathe, you don't want to feel your hands going up and down toward the ceiling. So the breathing in Pilates, remember, small, shallow, through the ribcage. Once I've got my breathing, I'm going to start to engage. So tummy relax first, and then I'm going to think, inhale, as I exhale, back passage up, belly button in. You should feel your tummy engaging or going down underneath your head, and then you relax, and then you re-engage. And then you relax, and then you Again, you might not see anything looking at that video. I can feel it, so it's the same for you. Don't expect very, very big movement or very, very big sensation. It's quite small, all right? So, first exercise we're going to do, we're going to walk. So what are we doing? What are we trying to do? The first two exercises, we're going to work on the stability of your hips, all right? So what you want to do, so the first two exercises, you can have your feet in line with your hips, so they're not together, the hip width apart. And from here, you're going to keep walking with one leg. I advise you to have your hand on your hip. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to let your leg go down onto the floor. And then you bring your leg back towards you. The idea is that you're holding your hips together while you extend the back of your knee and you bring it back. Okay? Try to keep the foot relaxed. Just extend the leg away and coming back. And you extend the leg away and then you're coming back. If I do this with no core engagement, just look at the pelvis. If you can see the difference, it's going to look like this. So my pelvis moving and arching. So my whole body is kind of moving. Okay, my leg is taking my pelvis away. Yeah? So what you're trying to do here is you want to think back passage up, belly button in. So I've got my core engagement, I extend my leg, my hip are not moving, I'm staying where I am, and then I bring it back. So what you're trying to work here is your pelvic floor and your hip stability. Once you're done here on one side, you want to swap side. Your foot stay heavy on the floor, you just slide the leg away. Great, so you should feel connection, or you may feel that it's that part of your tummy that is walking, all right? Now, tension to task. When you're doing this one, and I tried to show you that on the first leg, if I have no tension, so if I don't engage my tummy, my whole pelvis is moving. So here it's a very good exercise to control the movement of the pelvis in and out. So, okay, so when you're doing it, you don't want to have that movement happening in your pelvis on the floor. So I want you to do it again, and I want you to work on that tension to task. So it could look like this. I'm lying down, I'm going to give it my whole core engagement. So I'm going to engage my core as hard as I can. Okay, so it doesn't really feel very nice. I'm too tense, okay, and I find really hard to extend my leg. Then I'm going to give it the minimum core engagement. Okay, that's not enough. My pelvis is moving this time. My pelvis moves at the end. It goes archy instead of staying on the floor. Same on the other side, and I can feel my pelvis moving up and down. So the hip of the leg moving is coming down. Okay, great. Now from here, what is the amount of core engagement I need to just hold my hips together? So I'm doing the same. I'm going to go from minimum core engagement, engage the core more, and let's go for it. If I extend my leg, can I hold my hips together and bring it back? Hold my hips together and bring it back, and then I swap. Hold my hips together, bring it back, hold my hips together, bring it back. Great, super. Now the last focus you can have is your breathing. Is it better for you to do inhale, extend the leg, exhale, bring it back, or the opposite? So it could be or it could be the opposite. Try them. So do a few more repetitions and try different breathing. Is it exhaling going down or inhaling going down that is better for you? Which one gives you a better core engagement or better support? Okay? So that exercise is called slide away, or I call it slide away, I'm not even sure. So it's just sliding your leg away, holding your pelvis together. The next thing we're going to do is very similar. I call it sideway. So basically, you're going to have your feet and I'm going to show you from a sitting position. You're going to have your feet and your feet and your knees, together. And you just want to let one leg fall to the side and then the other leg fall to the other side while you're lying down. And your job is to hold your pelvis together, okay? So lying onto your back, feet together, knees together. What you're trying to do, again, hip stability, okay? can I resist the weight of my knee falling? So basically, if I don't hold, it might look like this. My whole pelvis is going with that leg. I don't want that. The other thing that can happen is my leg goes sideways and that knee open with it to try to help. I might need to show you this view, just so you understand. So if you here, you want one leg not to move, one leg to go down, and you don't want the whole pelvis to move with it, or the both legs to move with it, okay? So one leg going down, the other leg's going down, and you hold the pelvis together, okay? So let's go for it, now that you know what you're looking for. So lying down, feet together, knees together. Again, have your hands on your pelvis, just so you have feedback. You don't have to go all the way down, just let the knee fall and then come back. With this one, we want to alternate each side. Okay? Try to keep your ribcage relaxed on the floor, pelvis heavy on the floor. Just hold your hips together. Small movement to start with. Once you feel comfortable, you can move more. Alright? So I've done few, that feels alright. So now we're coming to the next two focus, tension to task. So did you have enough core engagement, or did you have too much core engagement to what you actually need to do the exercise? And the last one is the breathing. Were you exhaling going down? Were you inhaling going down? Was that working well? Did you feel stable? Or did you feel that it was not really working? Yeah? So swap the breathing. So first thing first, I'm going to focus on tension to task, and then I'll focus on my breathing, okay? So tension to task, same thing. I want to be relaxed here, relax. Back passage up, belly button in. One thing as well, I keep saying those, but to be absolutely honest, I don't think back passage up and belly button in anymore. I'm just looking for the feeling of the engagement, okay? So once you know how it feels to be engaged, just chase the feeling of the engagement instead of thinking about holding muscles, okay? It's much more comfortable. And again, I'm trying to dial in and up, I'm trying to dial up and down, or down, my core engagement to see what suits me better. And you may also find that one side you can go a bit lower than the other, okay? And that's fine, we're all different, alright? And then I'm gonna, now that I've found the right core engagement for me, I'm gonna focus on my breathing. Am I exhaling, inhaling on the way down? I need to find out which one works better. Alright, great. Alright. Again, take your time, do a few more repetitions, spend a bit of time trying to feel the work inside the hip. Don't rush through it. One thing with that one, and I'm not too sure how to explain that. When you're letting your knee fall to the side, you are not trying to stretch your hip, okay? So what you want to think about is that your foot and your hip are heavy on the floor, and you're just trying to draw a quarter circle with that knee. I'm not trying to stretch my hip, so I'm not thinking about opening my hip joint. I'm just thinking about getting my knee to the side. So it doesn't really matter how flexible my hip is, if that makes sense. You're not trying to stretch all the way down. You're just trying to resist the weight of the leg with your pelvis. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please give us feedback or give me feedback, and I'll try to be clearer or do another video about this one. Alright, we've got 2 exercises to go. So that was very nice. That was more hip stability exercises. Now we're going to start to go for more core strength. So the first one is called toe tap, and then we're going to do one leg stretch, okay? So toe tap, very simple. You're going to have your feet in line with your hips, Knees always in line with your feet and your hips, lying down onto your back, arm by the side. Again, if you want to have your hands on your hips or on your tummy to have more feedback, please do so. What you want to do is you want to bring one leg up into what we call a tabletop position, because your leg looks like a table, okay? So your knee is dead in line with your hips, knee bend 90 degrees, and then you bring it down, and then you swap side, and then you bring it down. The idea is pelvis not moving, trunk staying relaxed, okay? And I'm thinking about lifting my leg from my tummy, okay? So my tummy is not moving, just bringing one leg up and down. Once you know what you're doing, so you're walking your core and you're still doing a bit of hip stability, you remember the next focus. Do you have enough tension or too much tension for the exercise you're doing? So again, you want to maybe give it no core engagement. So now I feel like my tummy is coming out and my pelvis is moving as I do it, so that's not good. So I know I need to dial up from that, okay? And then you can give it your maximum core engagement, see how that feels, and then dial down from that. So you dial up or you dial down, and you find the right core engagement to be able to do that exercise. Again, the idea is that staying under control, your tummy stay under control, okay? And then the breathing, do you need to exhale when you come up? Or do you need to inhale when you come up? Remember, you can't breathe through your tummy. This is why you're trying to walk. You need to breathe through your rib cage. Alright, so that's called toe tap. Again, do a few repetitions. You should start to feel some walk through your transverse, okay? The last exercise I want to show you today, called one leg stretch. It's basically like a slide away, but this time we have our feet up and we're extending the leg up in the air, alright? So it's the same as a toe tap, but you stay on the same side. So it's like doing toe tap on one leg, so you bring your leg up. From here, you want to extend your leg away, bring it back, and you do few repetitions on each side. Here it's not a leg exercise, you want to feel your obliques working, your core working, and I want you to think about stretching your leg away, alright? Again, once you've done few, I want you to swap side. Ideally you want to count how many you do the same on both sides. And then think about, do I have enough core engagement to do this? Is my pelvis stable? Is my core under control? Can I control the pressure here? And then is my leg relaxed? And then once you know that you have the right tension, you want to work on your breathing. Do you need to exhale when you extend your leg? Or do you need to inhale when you extend your leg? Alright, again, choose the breathing and the inhale or the exhale on the movement that gives you the most core support, or the most support in the core, I should say. Alright, so if you have any question about this exercise, please let me know. Those 4 exercises are quite beginner exercise. They might feel very easy, but again, the aim is not to throw at you the hardest Pilates exercise. The idea is that we're building up. So that should feel, if you know how to control the core, if you got the breathing in the right place, that should feel pretty good and you should be very successful. So keep doing those, nice and easy. You may feel the work inside the pelvis. It's quite good for your hip stability and the inner strength of the hip, alright? Again, if you have any question, please let me know, and then I hope you will enjoy that short workout. Thank you.